Well, if you liked what you heard just a few minutes ago, you'll probably enjoy the concert tonight that's going to be in Franklin, Kentucky. Goodnight Auditorium. Jimmy Fortune, Sidney Perry is here. And man, I tell you, again, it's such a pleasure to have you here, to be with us here in Bowling Green. And for folks that love the Statler Brothers for so many years, they're well aware of you, but I mean, you've got a solo career now, and you keep on singing.
Yeah, I'm having a ball. I tell you, of course, I've got this beautiful young lady here, Sidney Perry, singing with me, and I just love her to death. I had to come to Kentucky to find a really good female singer that could sing that high part, you know.
That's it.
I wore out so many guys along the way trying to sing that high part. I said, shoot, I'm just going to find me a pretty girl to sing it. So
well, Harold, Phil, and Don, not that quite good looking.
Well, so, that's right. None of us
Y'all are going to give me a big head. You better quit.
None of us had it in the looks department, but it's been 12 years since Statler's retired. Can you believe that?
2002.
I still can't believe it. And so when they retired, I continued on my own. So I've been touring all over the United States, Canada, and you know, we go everywhere, just having a good time and enjoying it. But the 21 years with the Statler Brothers was it was indescribable, really. I mean, I can't believe it was almost over like in the snap of a finger. But we got to do a lot of things with those guys, and the most awarded act in the history of country music. You did your homework, by the way, and I appreciate that. But,
well, you are the Statlers, and you know, your music, the music that you've written since you were a member of the Statler Brothers, will go down in history, I mean, as some of the greatest country music there ever was. I mean, Elizabeth, the song that you wrote that song, it went to #1. It was one of, as you were just coming aboard after Lou DeWitt left the group, and because of health problems.
Well, Lou DeWitt wrote Flowers on the Wall.
Flowers on the Wall, the very first
hit record the Statler Brothers
Not
ever
just
had.
country, but also pop.
And he was the one that actually picked me. I mean, he heard me singing at a local ski resort up in Virginia. And I was out there with some friends of mine. I was doing some Roy Orbison things and John Denver, just cover songs. And he heard me singing that night, and lo and behold, I met him, and I thought, well, he's one of my heroes, but I'd probably never hear from him again. And, you know, like a month or so later, I get a call from the Statler Brothers. I was the first name out of his mouth. Because
you were only temporary at first, and then Lou decided he couldn't get on the road anymore and go through that. And then you were named a permanent new member of the group.
They came to me and asked me, I'd been with them for about 6 months, and they came to me and asked me if I'd consider doing it full time. And I said, man, I'd be a fool to turn this down, you know. And, you know, it was hard work, and it was, you know, it's glamorous to a point, but it's not all glamour. You know that behind the scenes when you're out on the road and stuff. And
that is not always a pretty picture.
No, it's not always a pretty. As she can tell you, she has to deal with me. You know, but anyway, it's a blessing. You know, I consider it a big blessing to have been with the Statler Brothers, and now to have had a 12-year career on my own now, and things have just been so good, you know. I feel like a very blessed person.
Well, Sidney, tell us how you got hooked up with Jimmy here, and then you're going to be performing with him tonight.
Yes, it's a crazy God thing coincidence. I was late to a radio interview. He was on time, so he caught the end of mine. So we met there, and then I was currently touring with Patty Loveless. So then we played his festival a couple months later, and hooked up again after that to write a song, and it wasn't but just a few months after that he started this trio and asked me to be a part of it, and it has just been the biggest blessing to me for the past 3 years.
Well, the harmony vocals are just so incredible between you two. I mean, it's almost a perfect match. It really is.
When I heard her sing, I've said this from the beginning, when I heard her sing and I laid my eyes on her, I said, you know, when Sidney Perry sings, the angels in heaven stop to listen.
See, this is what I have to do with.
They really do.
It sounds like a song, Jimmy. You need to write that down.
I might have to write that, yeah. But, you know, when I heard her, I asked her, I said, you know, if she was on the road with Patty Loveless, and I said, if you ever, you know, stop doing this or whatever, I said, would you consider coming to sing with me? She said, absolutely. So I don't ever want to sing without her. I'll be honest with you. I've gotten so used to her singing, and she sings it high part like nobody else.
Oh, yeah. So the concert's tonight, Goodnight Auditorium, 7 o'clock in Franklin, Kentucky. Do we know if tickets are still available?
Oh, yes.
Per chance? Okay, good. So if folks want to come out tonight?
$12 for general seating.
She knows, see?
Not
only that, she takes care of me.
They do tell me a little bit.
It's the Simpson County Arts Council, and they're the ones putting this on tonight. So most everybody knows where the Goodnight Auditorium is. It's right there on Main Street in Franklin. $20 reserve, $12 general admission. And if you want more information, franklinsimpsonarts.com. Is that .org?
.org.
Yeah. Okay. So there's your information to see this great concert tonight. So Jimmy, I have to ask, I know you probably still keep up with Harold, Phil, and Don.
We do.
Any thoughts of a possible reunion or something, maybe in the studio only, not touring? Have they talked about that at all?
I've asked them many times, as I have, and many other people have too. But when they said they were going to retire, they meant it. But the good news is the guys are doing great, health-wise and everything.
Don's writing books,
Don's
right?
writing
Children's
books. And Phil still takes care of the business stuff, and Harold just watches old movies and stays home with Brenda and enjoys his family and doing what he always wanted to do. But they're doing great, and they told me, they promised me if they ever did, they'd let me know first. So, so we'll see what happens.
And maybe a Road Hogg reunion?
Well,
Mr.
now,
Road
the Road Hogg's retiring from an autopsy, as Harold said. I don't know if he's going to ever come back out again or not. But,
And they said if you did it, you would be what now? What would your name be?
Lou was
Wichita Rankin.
And so I was going to be Wichita's little brother, Topeka.
Topeka. That is so awesome. Jimmy, thank you so much.
Thank you,
This
Chris.
has been a pleasure.
God bless you,
Sydney,
brother.
Thank you so much for having us.
congratulations to you
absolutely.
guys, and look forward to them tonight. It's just going to be a great, awesome concert. We'll be back with more Midday Live in just a minute.